In this video, I'll tell you about making the east elevation of this floor plan, and obviously we are going to take the reference of this floor plan which we have already made. So let's get started by hiding some of the things which we don't need, and we don't need the dimensions, text, blocks and hatches. So let's get rid of them. And to do that, I'll go to this layer drop down and I'll deactivate the layers which I don't need. So first I'll just make this layer 0 as the current layer, and now I'll deactivate the blocks, the dimensions, hatches and text. Well, these are the things that I don't need, and now I have a plain and simple outline of this floor plan. Now taking the reference of this, I'll start making the east elevation. Now to do that, first I'll move to this east direction by rotating this compass on the view cube, and there we have it. We are in the east direction. You can see that on the compass as well. We are in the east direction. Now let's start by adding some construction lines. So go to the draw panel and select this construction line tool. You can also use its command X line or XL if you want. Now I'll click on this endpoint and I'll make this construction line. So construction lines are basically the infinite lines. They stretch towards infinity in both the directions. Now I'll press enter again, click here, and there we have it. So we have these three construction lines. You can see that they stretch towards infinity in all the sides. Now let's make some offsets. So I'll go to offset and add an offset distance of 2 feet and press enter. Select it and make an offset in the upward side, upward direction. Now press enter again to repeat it, and now add an offset distance of 11 feet. Select the same line, the bottom one, and click upwards. Press enter twice, and this time add an offset distance of 16 feet. And click on the same line, click upwards. So there we have it. Now press enter again and make one more offset, but this time add a distance of 5 feet 6 inches. And the same line, click upwards. So there we have it. We have a lot of offsets here. Now we'll take the reference of these already existing offsets to make a few more. So offset and add a distance of 1 feet 6 inches. Click on this vertical line, click towards left, click on this vertical line, click towards right. There we have it. So we have a lot of offsets now. Let's clean this drawing a little bit. And to do that, I'll select the trim tool. So trim, press enter, select this line, this complete set of line, this complete set of line, and also this set of line here. And now we have this construction line. So let's select it and erase it. Alright, so here we have it. Now we'll use this to make our east elevation, and I'll start with the line tool now. So click on line and click on this intersection point. Now by taking the reference of this midpoint, actually you can click on this midpoint, but now I'll click a little bit towards left from this midpoint, and then I'll click on this intersection point like this. Now let's go to trim tool again, press enter, and now press and hold your shift key. So when you do that, the trim command will convert into extend, and now you can extend your geometry using this trim tool. So now I'll click on this line and look at this. It is now extending it instead of trimming it. Alright, now let's make some offsets. So again, offset 6 inches will be the offset distance, and click on this line, click downwards, this line, click downwards. Now I'll go to fillet and make sure the radius is 0. So radius, it should be 0, and I'll add the fillet right here. So this line, there we have it, the sharp corner. Okay, now here also we need to extend this. It's not touching this line, so I'll go to trim, press enter. Now press and hold the shift key, click here, it will extend it. Again, press and hold shift, extend it. There we have it. Okay, now we can get rid of this line. We don't need this line also, and we also don't need this one. So you can just get rid of all of those lines. Now let's go to line tool again and add a few small lines here, and there's a small line. Okay, so there we have it. Now let's go to offset again and add an offset distance of 3 feet, and click on this line, click towards left, go to offset again, and this time add an offset distance of 4 feet. Click on this line, click towards left. Go to trim tool, press enter, and we are now going to extend it. So press and hold shift and extend it, and extend this one also. There we have it. Now we can get rid of these extra lines. So let's go to trim, press enter, trim this part, here also, trim this and this part. You can also trim all of these parts. So by now the shape of this east elevation must be becoming very clear to you. So let's add more details here, and for that I'll go to polyline, click on this endpoint and add a height of 1 feet 6 inches. And I'm using polyline, so just make a note of that. Now press enter again to repeat this one. Click on this endpoint and make it of equal length 1 feet 6 inches. Now press enter again. Now go to this endpoint, move little bit towards left, and then join it with this, but don't join it directly, just make 2 lines. So click here, press enter again, and now repeat it, and there we have it. So we now have 4 separate polylines, this polyline, this one, and this one. And I intentionally made these 4 separate polylines. I could have made it using a single polyline tool, but in this case I selected separate polylines instead of a single one. All right, now let's go to trim, press enter, and let's trim this part as well. That's also not needed here. All right, and now we'll add the railings here. Actually, these are the railings on our porch. So to add the railing shape, first double click on this polyline and now go to width and add a width of 2 inches. There we have it. Press enter. Now copy this property on the remaining polyline. For that you can use the match property command. So there we have it, match property. Select this one and paste it on the remaining polylines like this. Here you can move this polyline a little bit towards right, just 1 inch towards right. There we have it. Now let's go to polyline again and add 1 more polyline. So I'll just go to this distance approximately there, and that's now added. Now again double click on this and go to width and add a width of 1 inch. All right, now I'll copy this one here. So I'll go to copy, select it, press enter. Now go to this base point and select array because I want to make multiple copies. Now add 8 as number of items, and look at this, now we have 8 copies here. So let's select fit option, and that will allow me to choose the starting and end point of this linear array. So I'll click here and there we have it. That's the array which we need. I'll copy it all of these segments only. I'll leave these 2 and I'll copy them to this side here. Okay, so there we have it. So the railings are done. Now let's add the windows, and for that I'm going to use Design Center. So press Ctrl 2, that will open your Design Center, and in your case the Design Center might open in some other folder. So just go to this home icon, that will take you to the default view. Now ENUS Design Center, and here I'll select landscaping, and here we don't have the thing that we need, so let's just move back. Let's select home space planner, blocks. Again, we don't have the required things here. Maybe in-house designer will find the blocks which we need, and yes, here we have the block. So in the house designer folder we have this window block which we need. So just drag it and drop it. So that's the window which we need. Now select it, go to move and move it right on this line. So I'll just drop it somewhere over here, and I'll make a mirror image. So select it, go to mirror and make a mirror image like this. Now we can get rid of this reference line, it's no longer needed, and make a complete copy of this. Go to copy tool and make a copy right over here. Now in this case I'm very random. I have selected completely random distance, but since we are using this floor plan, we should take the reference of these windows which are already here. So let's just take the reference of this. So once again I'll go to construction line and I'll click on this endpoint, add the construction line. Again go to this endpoint and add the construction line, and let's just move them precisely at their location. So I'll select them again, go to move tool, click on this endpoint and move it right on this construction line. Similarly, I'll select them both and move tool and make sure that it's moved right on that construction line. There we have it. So it's now properly placed with respect to this, and now we can get rid of these construction lines. Now we only need to add the chimney here, and to do that I'll go to the line tool and I'll just take the reference of this top point, move a little bit towards left here and add a distance of 6 feet. There we have it. Now move to the left 3 feet and join it with this here. We need to extend this one, so go to trim tool, press enter, press and hold shift and extend it like this. Alright, let's go to this offset tool and add an offset distance of 4 inches and offset this on this side. Now go to line tool, add a line somewhere over here, and let's make a mirror image of this line. So mirror, click on this midpoint, there we have it. Again trim tool, press enter, press and hold your shift key to extend this. Now release the shift key and trim it. Trim the parts which we don't need, including these two. Now select it all and go to copy tool and copy it. Now the gap between these two can be selected randomly, you don't need to be very precise in this case. And again trim, press enter, get rid of this and this. So there we have it. So the chimney is also added. So the basic sketch or the outline of our east elevation is prepared. We'll now add more details like the annotations and hatches.